Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome the school board directors, fellow administrators, faculty, and staff, families, friends of the graduates, students, and other guests. But most importantly, I want to welcome you, the Danville Area School District Class of 2021. It is with great pride that I address you today as you graduate from Danville Area School District and begin the next leg of your journey. As the class of 2021, you have reached milestones and achievements as students, athletes, musicians, actors and actresses, and artists. But you have also faced challenges such as coronavirus and the pandemic that has disrupted your life for more than a year. You rose to this challenge by practicing social distancing, washing your hands very often, and wearing your mask. So, I want to talk about that mask. Ugh, you say. It seems like most of us are anxious to tear off our masks and take a deep breath. The mask we have been wearing is a physical mask. It has hindered the freedom to engage socially and has limited our interactions. There are other types of masks that I want to talk about. They are the masks that are not seen, but are worn as well. In the movie Shrek, which is your theme, some of the characters actually wearing the masks, these invisible masks. In fact, we all wear an invisible mask sometime. It is the way we hide our fears and our vulnerability. First, let's take a look at Princess Fiona. Her mask is very literal. It's a lie. A fake body and a fake face to hide her true identity as an ogre. Ask yourself, am I wearing a mask of a lie? Do you feel like you need to portray yourself as something you are not just to fit in? Do you worry about what you look like? What other people think? It's time for you to learn the lesson that Princess Fiona learns. Stop caring about what other people think. Accept yourself and choose to live your life as your true self. When Fiona did this, she found the freedom to live happily ever after with Shrek, who may not be beautiful on the outside, but who is caring, loving, and kind. What counts is on the inside. Okay, now let's look at Shrek. His mask is that persona that he transmits, the attitude he does not need or want anyone in his life. He pushes people away before they can reject him. He is grumpy, self-sufficient, and disgusting, and very proud of it. Shrek lives in the swamp, and he blusters that he only cares about himself, his swamp, and the peace and quiet. We see Shrek's relationship with Donkey, that the ogre has a big heart, as big as a swamp. Shrek's mask hides his fear of rejection and vulnerability. He begins the movie as a loner, but if you look behind the mask, you will see that he really desires a connection with others. Simply put, Shrek's mask of a gruff attitude serves the purpose of hiding his fears that people will find him loathsome and rebuff him. For Shrek, the swamp protected him from the outside world. For Princess Fiona, her magical beauty protected her from being rejected. For you, Danville High School has protected you in many ways. Now it is time for you to take off your invisible mask and apply the lessons that you have learned at Danville High School and by watching Shrek. Focus on pursuing positive relationships. Don't judge others by what they look like, but by who they are. Be kind to everyone, and most importantly, be yourself. Accept who you are and don't change just to fit in. To the class of 2021, I wish you all the best as you go on your way. With the knowledge you have gained in the school, with the guidance of your family, and the wonderful friendships you have made here, you are ready to capture the kingdom that is waiting for you. In the words of E.E. Cummings, it takes courage to grow up and become who we really are. So, class of 2021, on behalf of your parents, families, educators, and the entire Danville community, I congratulate you on your graduation. We look forward to hearing about and seeing what wherein the journey will take you, and how each of you will make this world a better place for you and future generations. We are rooting for you and wish you an abundance of love, joy, and success. So take a seat. And I'm going to tell you right now, take off those masks. Feel free to. Congratulations, best wishes, Danville High School class of 2021. We are proud of you.
Okay, Ben Bolger, please come forward for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker will be Matthew Maffei, our class president.
Is this thing on? All right. Welcome, classmates, family, friends, faculty, and community, to the graduation of the class of 2021. First, I would like to thank my class for electing me to serve for you guys as class president for the past 4 years. It's been pretty great. So give yourselves a round of applause. Because together, we've been through many hardships as well as many achievements. And I love each and every single one of you sitting right there. The past 2 years have been very hard with the navigation of the COVID-19 virus. We've had to adjust in many ways. We've had online learning, we've been separated from friends and family, events have been canceled, and the lockdown has had effects on all of us. But together, as a class, with the support of our family and community, we've gone through this historical event and rised above it all. However, over the past 4 years, we've also accomplished so much together. Many of our classmates have set records and made it to states in their sports, as well as achieved a great deal in band, chorus, drama, and forensics. And together as a class, we have raised more money than any other class in Danville history, all because of your guys' hard work. So thank you. I've grown up with many of you. I've grown with all of you throughout these past 4 years, and it's been great. And I've seen all of you do great things. And I know all of you guys are going to continue to do great things. This is our graduation, and that's what we're here to do. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the greatest emotions. It's one of the best things you can give someone else. It's all about love, and I love all of you guys. Thank you for all your time, and it's been an honor to be with you for the past 4 years. Thank you, and welcome to graduation.
Thank you, Matt. Our next speaker is Paige Holcomb, the class webmaster, for the introduction of the theme.
April 19th, 2021, possibly the most polarizing day in Danville. After an exciting 24 hours and the best voter turnout our class's Instagram has ever seen, Shrek won the race for the theme for this graduation ceremony with a whopping 110 votes, defeating Toy Story's 88 supporters. To me, Shrek is all about the importance of friendship. For 10.5 years, we've all had the privilege of forming and building meaningful relationships in person. From student sections to sports teams to club activities, we never gave any thought to just how many feet apart we were. It was always, as they say in Shrek's world, simply about peeling back the layers of the onion and getting to know each other better. However, our last 1.5 years as Danville Area High School students have been about pivoting, forcing us to utilize creative ways to extend and maintain meaningful friendships through FaceTime calls, Zoom classes, or even socially distant get-togethers. Never did we allow our lack of physical contact to weaken the strong and rewarding bonds we've built here. And just like Shrek, we've proven just how resilient we can be. It's up to us as we leave this campus tonight to continue to invest in these friendships beyond our high school years.
Thank you, Paige. At this time, we will hear from our student speakers. Our first speaker is Joy Zhang, titled Embracing Change.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. I want to start by thanking some very important people. First and foremost, my parents, whose endless support and guidance allowed me to grow and develop into the person I am today. Next, I would like to thank my teachers and coaches. I would not be here without their unwavering patience and dedication. I would also like to thank the entire faculty, administration, and guests for their constant encouragement of our class. Finally, thank you to my fellow classmates for allowing me to witness the immense growth we have made as a class. Congratulations to all of you for your achievements and exceptional feats. Although along the way we have lost a dear classmate, Kyle Kizis, I think we can all agree that he is very much with us here tonight. Today's ceremony marks the end of a chapter and the beginning of a greater one. We have come so far together, from entering high school as uncertain individuals to now leaving our beloved school as the determined, bright, and caring class of 2021. We have experienced so much in these past 4 years. Our journey through high school has been landmarked by endless ups and downs, endless joys and disappointments. This past year especially has challenged us in more ways than one. We have had to navigate the school year with the constant uncertainty of what tomorrow would bring. Would we be learning alongside our classmates, or would we be sent home to participate through our computer screens? Would sporting events continue as planned, or would our hard-earned seasons be abruptly paused? As seniors, these worries were compounded with the foreboding sense of finality. This would be our last year as high schoolers. It would be the last year of learning from our favorite teachers and the last year of roaming the familiar halls of our school. For many of us, it is also the last year of learning alongside classmates that we have grown up with and come to love. Through these uncertainties and challenges, we have been forced to adapt to our new normal. Suddenly, we were sitting 6 feet away from our classmates, only seeing half of our friends every other day and wearing masks on every occasion. This was not how we imagined our last year of high school. Alongside these changes, we also started thinking about our futures. The vastness of what lay ahead and its potential were certainly daunting. We looked for sources of stability and support, and we found this in our classmates, our teachers, and our families. Through all this, we continue to succeed and achieve things that no other class before us has achieved. In a year like no other, our class has set a precedent for what can be achieved when you have the determination and the ability to adapt to immense change. In the face of adversity, we remained strong and adjusted to whatever was thrown our way. The challenges we experienced this year have taught us invaluable lessons and have given us a glimpse of the future. A journey whose twists and turns are not always predictable and where change is inevitable. As we continue on past high school, we will be faced with new challenges and obstacles. However, I am certain that the class of 2021 has the grit and tenacity to succeed. So as we move forward, let us take with us our strength of adapting to the unknown and remember to embrace the changes we face. As a final thought going forward, I would like to share a quote from the great lyricist Greg Camp. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. So much to do, so much to see. You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it.
Thank you, Joy. Our next speaker is Zoe Zola with Feeling Swamped.
Good evening. I'd first like to offer a few thank yous. Thank you to all the parents, teachers, administrators, and other guests here tonight for your support of our class throughout our 4 years here at Danville Area High School. Our graduation tonight would not be possible without your help and close guidance. Thanks to my fellow seniors for being such a supportive group of people to share a high school experience with, and I wish you all the best in your future pursuits, whatever they may be. I'd also like to congratulate everyone on making it here tonight. Even in today's day and age, graduating high school is not a guarantee, and especially considering these past 15 months, this achievement is quite the accomplishment. You should all take great pride in arriving at this point in your journey. I use the word journey because that's how I like to think of life, and its many different facets as twists and turns on the path to our future. With our graduation from high school, the journey is still only beginning, but there are some key lessons I feel we've already learned and are important to remember as we move forward along our paths, just as Shrek learned during his journey to rescue Princess Fiona. I think one of the most important lessons we've learned throughout our time at Danville has been to lean on each other when we are in need. Whether this lesson was learned on account of the pandemic or through some other hardship endured, it takes great courage to be vulnerable with your peers and true kindness to listen when someone reaches out. The class of 2021 has exemplified these virtues to an impressive level. Over the last 4 years, all of us have endured some kind of tragedy or disappointment or other adversity that has left us feeling lost and in need of guidance, but unsure of where to turn. Maybe you only felt like this for a day, or maybe you felt like this for your whole 4 years. Regardless, the level of support I've seen from my classmates towards others in times of struggle has been awe-inspiring. Whether it be encouragement on the athletic field, in the classroom, or in the corner of the girls' bathroom, the sense of community in our class has been incredible. Now, while it may seem rather silly comparing Shrek's situation to those of high school students, Shrek's situation clearly being the one that holds more gravity, the lessons he learns in his journey to rescue Princess Fiona are applicable to those that we face as our journeys take us away from Danville Area High School. The movie Shrek also came out before anyone in this class was born, so the lessons may seem old-fashioned, but please bear with me. For most of his life, Shrek has been a loner. He lives by himself in his swamp, and no one is allowed in. And that's how he likes it. He takes pride in being able to keep out all the villagers who come by. He's content in his solitude. Until one annoying donkey and the rest of the kingdom's fairy tale characters are evicted from their homes and end up in his swamp seeking refuge. Shrek then must journey out of his swamp and his comfort zone for the first time to save a princess for another guy, all with the hope of getting the fairy tale characters to leave so he can once again be alone. Naturally, this doesn't all work out as planned, or it wouldn't be a very interesting movie. Shrek first encounters an issue with his rescue plan when he realizes that he's never left the swamp before, and therefore has no clue where he's going. Enter Donkey. Donkey and Shrek are effectively polar opposites, with Shrek preferring silence and solitude, and Donkey filling every opportunity for quiet with usually meaningless chatter. However, as the pair journeys on to Princess Fiona's tower, Shrek begins to realize that maybe some company isn't so bad, and Donkey begins to realize that Shrek is not quite the unfeeling brute he appears. These realizations build until Donkey confronts Shrek about his solitude and why he acts so coarse with everyone he encounters. Shrek then pulls up an onion from the onion field in which they are walking and explains to Donkey that ogres are like onions. While Donkey is at first rather confused by this comparison, throughout the rest of the movie, he slowly figures out that all Shrek means is that he is just like any other guy or talking donkey with feelings all of us can understand and relate to and a need for emotional connection. Throughout the the rest of the movie, Donkey acts as a mediator between Shrek and Fiona after they rescue her. With his new fundamental understanding of Shrek and his feelings, he helps both Shrek and Fiona realize their feelings for each other, and they all live happily ever after. If Shrek had never turned to Donkey, onion in hand, and been willing to open up to him and expose his true feelings, he never would have found his happily ever after. So we too must continue to look to those around us for support, as we have in our high school careers, so that we can push forward together rather than suffering alone. And of course, we must be there for those who need us, to guide them on their journeys just as they guide us. So I implore you, as you go forth from Danville Area High School, wherever that may be, to look to those around you in times of need, because they will lead you to your happily ever after. And if even now you feel caught up in your solitude, it's finally time to get out of the swamp. Your future awaits you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Our next speaker is Grace Keebler, Turning Towards Kindness.
Thank you all for coming out to the graduation this year, especially during these challenging circumstances. We have all put in a lot of hard work, and we are here to honor that today. Congratulations to everyone who's graduating in the class of 2021. Every single one of us has worked hard and accomplished a lot to be here today. Despite months of virtual school, we made it. I moved to Danville High School my sophomore year, and it was absolutely terrifying. But the kindness shown to me by fellow students and teachers really helped me get through the big change that I faced. I would like to thank the fellow students who accepted me into their friend group and invited me to their lunch table. Little did I know, these fellow students would become some of my best friends. You all had a profound impact on me, and your kindness melted away so much of my initial fear. My experience would have been much different without the incredibly kind people who helped me adjust to life here. I would also like to thank Mr. Mast in particular for his kindness to me during my intro econ and AP Gov classes my sophomore year. Pretty early into the school year, Mr. Mast handed me a Recognition for Excellence in Social Studies certificate that read, "Moving is difficult at any point, but moving in the middle of high school can be even more so. You have become a great addition to DHS." It had some more to it, but these lines that Mr. Mast said to me made me feel like it was going to be okay. Those words made me feel like I wasn't an outlier. They made me feel like I moved to Danville for a reason and made me want to work as hard as I could. I learned from a young age, just as many of my peers here today have, that the world can be a harsh place. There are a lot of bumps in the road that we have to face, but these bumps make us stronger. We learn and rise from failure. There's a great deal of hate, rejection, and pain that many people face every day. This is the sad reality for some people, and it's wrong because deep down, we are all just fellow humans. You never know what someone is going through, and you can change their whole day by simply being kind to them. Kindness and acceptance were a few big themes in Shrek. Donkey was the first creature that showed Shrek true kindness and acceptance, and it changed Shrek's whole perspective of the world and how he fit into it. We can all be the donkey to someone's Shrek. We can all have a positive impact on each other. It can be as simple as a smile, an invitation to a lunch table, or a heartfelt note from someone. It takes so little effort to help someone navigate this world. As we move forward towards the next steps in our lives, I want you all to keep kindness in your hearts. As we go off to college or trade school or enter the workforce, we are going to be the new gal or guy like I once was. And it might be scary. It's okay to be nervous about the unknown, but new and different things are what make us grow. I encourage you all to go into your futures with an open mind. Embrace and appreciate new cultures and personalities around you. Learn to love and accept differences, and always be willing to learn from those around you. When we all make steps towards educating ourselves, we take a step toward a kinder and more accepting world. You are all capable of anything you are willing to work for, and it's okay to not quite know what you want to be yet. Your drive and passion can create a better world. Always strive for success, never give up on your dreams or aspirations, and pursue what makes you happy. Being truly happy in life is what really matters. No matter if your next journey takes you 10 minutes away or across the country, stay true to yourself and your roots, and never forget the people who have stood by your side and supported you. Life is what you make it. Thank you.
With an introduction of our guest speaker tonight, Kevin Dempsey, Vice President of the Class of 2021.
Graduation is the mark for many that represents the next step in one's life. From here, though it may seem that the world is under attack by a fire-breathing dragon, our lives are only being opened up, like a mass of fairy tale creatures being dumped into your swamp. It can absolutely be overwhelming at first, but today we have an incredible individual joining us who graduated from this very school just 6 years ago. In her time away from Ironman headquarters, she participated in an internship with Lucasfilms. Sadly, though, the internship was canceled due to the severe hardships faced by the many companies during the pandemic. This setback, however, allowed for our speaker to expand her world into that of becoming a published author. Writing 2 successful children's books, as well as another on the way, Mackenzie Wortman inspires us all. Her life, as well as her story, serves as a reminder for us that as one door closes, another door opens. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Mackenzie Wortman.
Good evening. My name is Mackenzie Wortman, and I'm a graduate of 2015. Firstly, I would like to say what an honor it is to speak with you all today. And also, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2021 for their great achievement tonight. It hasn't been easy, but congrats, guys. You made it. The world sucks from here on out, but you'll love every moment. Sorry. Most days you'll love it, I promise. I'll be honest, though, when I got the phone call about being today's speaker, and I heard, "Hello, Mackenzie, this is the principal of the Danville High School," I immediately thought, what did I do now? Before I realized I haven't been a student here in a little bit. But I wondered, it's only been 6 years. What could I offer that could help any of you? What kind of knowledge or experience could I even share? But then I thought, maybe I am the best person to be speaking with you all today, because I am the best person to tell you what is immediately around the corner. Most people come in and, they're a little bit more experienced, but they can't tell you what is right around the corner. So I'm just gonna go with that. So again, just bear with me, because I know that you guys all want this to be over. I know you want me to speak shortly and sweetly, but you'll want this moment to last a little longer. When you look back at it, you'll just say, I wish high school lasted 1 minute longer, and I promise you will. You'll look around and you'll go, I'm thankful to be out of here, and I'm thankful that the people around me have expanded, but this is very important, and your years here will follow you, as will the people around you. So just have your moment with me, and then we'll move on from there. It's true that of 2021, I am an author, I'm a comic book writer, I'm a screenwriter, and I am a dinosaur business owner, which isn't normal, but that's what I run with. But only 6 years ago today, did I sit where you are now. I know many of you sitting in the seats. I know many of you in the stands. We had many of the same teachers. We walked the same halls. We grew up in the same town. And even though my graduation was not that short a time away, I realized that I couldn't remember my own graduation speaker. I remember that he set a timer, and he said something about having to pee, and then my good friend Gavin spoke about having to pee the entire ceremony. So, Aiden, I hope you don't have to pee. But I also remember sitting there and remembering that I thought I had a good idea of what I wanted to do with my life. I thought I had it all together. And adults made me laugh together about that, because let me make it clear that you have no control of that plan. Nada. None. Don't even try. No matter what you do, no matter what you plan, the change is always unexpected, and change will always come for you. It's always going to happen in life, and you'll have to embrace it. Now, the one speech I could remember was at my sister's graduation, and this woman talked about her life for over an hour, which I will make it clear I will not be doing, but she spoke truthfully about life, And I realized that most of the time when people speak to inspire the next generation, they only talk about professional success. But life is so much more than just professional success. You know, life isn't about jobs. It isn't about money. It's not even about that professional success. Those are just the pieces of life. And those pieces of life do form together, but there's going to be much more important things than what you go out and do professionally. So, if I may, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself to relate back to you the best way I know how. And I want you to all know that I'm saying things that I wish somebody would have told me when I sat in your seat. So I won't lie to you. I am sitting before you today because people have told me I'm quote-unquote successful in my young life. And I'm also here to tell you that I've never seen it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way that by the time I reach my goal of yesterday, I've already set my goal for tomorrow. So in a certain way, I've never reached my goals. But then I just keep on pushing myself. And I've concluded that you have to be open to, as I said, the change to your life. And what I mean by that is, you may not have an idea of what you want to do in life, but you need to be open to whatever life might throw at you. I did not plan to become a writer. I did not plan to become a business owner. My life is not turning out as expected. I wanted to be a veterinarian. It's the only thing I wanted to do in life. And then, my freshman year of high school, I suffered a spinal injury. I was in the hospital all the time. I was miserable and depressed. And the only way to escape was through books and movies. I read and watched everything until I ran out of things to do. And so I turned to writing. That injury was monumental to why I'm before you today, because that injury changed everything for me. Something so good to create something, or something so bad to create something so good, but it took a long time for me to be able to see that. And even so, I did not change my major until the end of my senior year. And a good reason I probably don't remember my graduation is because I was freaking out about that change. And if any of you are freaking out or feeling discouraged, I want you to know that I did not get into all my chosen programs. I also did not get any recognition for any of my writing in high school. I'm not salty about it, but just a little. That was a big motivator for me, though. And so I was still indecisive, and I went to Bloom for a year and realized fairly quickly that that was not for me. But I still loved writing. I thought that's what I wanted to do. So I decided to take the year off and somehow got an internship in Los Angeles. And suddenly this country girl was thrown onto movie sets with these big name actors and all these big labels, but I still didn't believe I could do it. I looked around and I thought everyone was more talented than me, that everyone was more connected to me or connected than me. I just didn't believe I could do it. And I want you not to think that way. I want you to have faith in yourself, and I want you to know that faith will come in time. Because I didn't get it till much later. I came home, and even though I went to film school, I decided to do online because my dinosaur business was doing so well. And again, I didn't expect to do anything with dinosaurs for my life, but again, accept that change and unexpected. And the moment it changed for me, the moment I found my faith in myself, was when I met my celebrity crush. And you all might laugh at that, but I promise you'll have a moment and it will be just as ridiculous. And I have been a big Star Wars freak since I could crawl. And Anakin Skywalker, and for you that don't know Star Wars, that's the young Darth Vader, has always been the love of my life. And I remember in school always saying the one thing I could never do was meet him. And then I met him at 20, and I realized from then on out, I could do anything I wanted if I just put the work in and believed I could. And I don't want you to think I had this moment and everything worked out for me, because that's not how it happened whatsoever. I still struggled, I still made mistakes, I still had to work hard. And I had to fight to see that greater plan through personal struggle, even to things like the COVID-19 pandemic. I understand this pandemic has caused such a change for all of us. I mean, look at your last 2 years. Who would have thought? For me personally, I thought I was going to lose my life to the virus back in December, and I'm still recovering from it now. But thankfully, I'm still kicking. But before I suffered from the virus, I was living in Orlando and working at Disney. I was up for a job at Disney World. I was up for an internship at Lucasfilms. And an agent in Los Angeles had just taken on all my scripts to be put for movies. And then the pandemic hit. And I had to come home to Danville. I had the movie industry shut down, and I lost my pending job, my pending internship, and there was really nothing left. So I was crushed. But then I got a phone call from a publisher that had found my work online, said, "We want to publish you." And then not even 2 months later, I got another phone call from a comic book publisher that goes, "We think you're insanely talented. We would like you to become one of our writers." Two things that were very unexpected. If my plans had worked out, I would have never signed any of that. I would have never became an author. I would never became a comic book writer. I probably would be just another student. And again, that's how the pandemic has affected me, but it has affected all of you as well. And this pandemic has changed so much of this world. And I'm sure some of you are nervous about that, how the changes will affect your life, your plans, your schooling. And I want you to know there's nothing to fear. Yes, change is scary, but a lot of things are changing back. And there is very much a lot of good things to come of this pandemic. I talk to 8 different people in 8 different states and 3 different countries daily. I am working with multi-million-dollar companies. I publish books, write stories, work with people from all over the globe, from my childhood bedroom in Danville, Pennsylvania. Before, I had to be in Los Angeles and Orlando. Now, I can be home. People are willing to work with people from home. You have no idea the possibilities that have opened for you because of this pandemic. And again, it's scary because it's new. But before it was cool, I went to school online, and it was frowned upon. But now it's a few years later, and everyone's doing it. And people used to think you had to go somewhere big to do something big, and that's not the case anymore. So you can't use the excuse that I'm from Danville, I live in Danville, I can't do anything. That's not the case. Your computer and your phone connect to everywhere in this world. The roads to Danville connect to this entire country. The world is literally at your fingertips by just a click. You just need to believe that you can do it and put your work in, that you will be able to achieve it. Things will work out better if you become your biggest supporter. If you believe you can do something and you don't let anyone shake the faith that you can. I promise if you learn that, you can conquer the world. And that faith will not come easily. And I want you to know that there will be difficulties you will face, even if it's just the next few years. And as I go through this, I'll cheer it up with a little Shrek flair. Like Shrek alone in his swamp, there will be times where you'll feel alone, or you'll be alone. But the main character can never see the chapter that waits around the corner. There could be a friend like Donkey, or an adventure like to save a princess, or even a love like Fiona. You'll have challenges, like how Shrek had to fight a dragon. Your challenges might not be so literal, they might be a little more internal, but you'll still need to be strong. And like Dragon and Donkey, or Shrek and Fiona, maybe you'll fall in love, maybe you'll fall out of love, and in love again. And each time it will hurt, and each time you'll learn something. But the story continues on, because you are the main character of the story, and your story is that life. When I started to become successful, a lot of people came out of the woodwork to be my friend, but a lot more came out to be my enemy. On one particular night, I remember getting a really hateful text about some of my characters that I posted online. And I thought, I'm struggling. I'm still struggling. And that doesn't stop. I'm not going to lie to you about that. You're always going to have struggles. But you're greater than those struggles. That's the one thing that's great about life, is that it's not a big thing that makes life great. It is the little things that make it great, that you cherish the small things, families, friends, smiles, laughs. That's how you stay happy. When I worked in Los Angeles, I had the privilege of working with one of the writers of Shrek. And I'm amazed constantly how the point of that movie was often missed. An ogre can have a fairy tale. It's a unique story, his story, just like this life is your story. But that movie is supposed to show real life. You might be thinking, I'm never going to meet an ogre, I'm never going to fight a dragon. But it is written in comparison to Disney, where life is shown to be picture perfect. Shrek is not shown to be picture perfect. It shows the flaws and the nitty-gritty, and that is just like real life. You can make a happy ending out of all the flaws that are given in this life. It's all rough and bumpy, but just like Shrek, you can make the best of it. And Shrek also said that onions have layers, and that's not just true about ogres or onions, but that's true about people too, and even your life. And those layers, I've learned, are more like a path than a ladder. You're not above anyone else. We're all on separate paths. And when you feel alone, or like someone is doing better than you, or you feel behind, just know that that's not the case. You're on your own path. For me, it was when all my friends that I grew up with went on to be young mothers, fabulous mothers. But I looked around at these girls that I've grown up with for 5, 10, 15 years and thought, why don't I want this? And I'll tell you right now not to do that. Don't compare yourself to anyone around you. Some of you may go off to school this year. Some of you may wait. Some of you may know exactly what you want to do with your life, and others may need to explore. Some of you will have a family at 25. Some will not have one till 40. Some of you will go off to college and know your major and graduate in 4 years, and some of you may switch your major 5 times. It's all okay. What's important is that you do what makes you happy. Because regardless of how your path carries out, Shrek could find happiness, and he didn't have to become a prince. Fiona fell for the ogre, and when she wanted to turn back into the princess to be beautiful, Shrek loved her for the ogre too, because they both cared for what truly mattered, the person inside. And I want you to know who you are inside matters, and you cannot lose sight of that for anything. Having a good heart and being true to yourself means more than any experience or education can give you. And I know at points in your life it might not feel that way, but I swear it's true. When I worked in the movie industry, I was told outright that I had to start stepping on toes if I wanted to be successful. I refused to do that. I knew that wasn't the person I wanted to be, and I knew if that's what I had to do to become successful in that business, then I wanted nothing to do with it. However, because I made that choice, because I decided to stay true to myself, was the exact same reasons I got signed to my book publisher and my comic book publisher. They liked that I had my small town roots and my family connections. They liked that I didn't get caught up in the mainstream of things. They even liked that I had my faith and that I seemed like a kind person. Another thing they liked was that I was unique in my passion for things, which I don't think was my best quality in high school when it came to my peers, but it just goes to show you that something that wasn't too popular in high school might excel you in the real world. And really, when it comes to life, everyone else is already taken, so just be you. And that ends with the question of who are you? Who are you really? That seems like an easy question, but I promise it's not. And usually the easy questions are really the most complicated. Some of you may think you know who you are. Some of you may have no idea. Some of you may be in that middle. I know for one, I don't think I have changed much from high school. At least it comes to who I am. Still a Star Wars freak, still an animal lover, and I still try to put kindness above all else. Don't always succeed, but I do try. And as far as your futures go beyond that, that's really up to you. For you to learn and discover, to have fun and to struggle. It's all part of the process of life. And I swear the journey is worth it, all moments, good and bad. unlike many other speakers, I can't tell you much beyond that. I can't tell you what to expect in the next 10, 15, 20 years, because I haven't experienced it myself. I want you to look at what's right ahead of you, though, like I am. This is a chapter of your life, and you don't want to miss it. And those chapters will come in time, and whoever wants a heads up, just shoot me a text. I'll be sure to give you some pointers down the road, but just enjoy this in this journey now, because your time in high school is ending, but that doesn't mean your time here is forgotten. This time in high school will follow you forever, and I'm sorry for those of you that didn't like it, and congrats to you that loved it, but it's true. Danville High School is forever a building block in your life. The high school, the teachers, the memories, it's all a part of you now, just like it is in mine. And I usually don't say these things about myself because, like I said, to me, I'm just Kenzie, the girl that's from Danville, who has an animal obsession and is a Star Wars freak. But I'm saying this so you can see what I achieved my short years after leaving Danville High School. I am an entrepreneur, a business owner with a thriving animatronic dinosaur business. I am one of the most respected reps in my company. People hire me to rebuild their businesses because they like how I run mine. I'm also a book author. I have a novel hitting shelves next year and more than a dozen more being discussed. I'm a children's book author. I have 2 on the shelves right now with 3 more actually coming. And I'm also a comic book writer. And I have a series coming and then immediate follow-up and a spin-off. So there is a lot going on. But I want you to remember, if I can do all this in such a short time, so can you. The trick is you just need to believe that you can do it. And that doesn't mean you're brave and strong and even mentally stable all the time. It just means you don't quit. Because underneath all those labels, I'm still just a small town girl, and that same small town as you. I just had a dream and I followed it. And I wasn't willing to give it up for anyone. So if you leave this graduation with any doubt that you can do anything you put your mind to, this is your voice of reason to get rid of that doubt. You are in control of your own destiny, and anything you want to do is possible. I drew my first dinosaur when I was at St. Joe's School. The same dinosaur that started my company, and the same dinosaur I bought with my graduation money from my very own graduation. My movie script, that right now is on 3 major movie companies' desks as we speak, was written in Miss Helbig's room my sophomore year. My novel that is about to hit shelves next year was written during study halls. My first draft was written over in that corner over there. So anything is possible if you put the time in and you believe you can do it. Nothing you did here is going to be forgotten. Everything you did here is important. I got signed because of a Star Wars fan fiction that I wrote during high school. Everything you did here, you can take with you, and it can help you grow. I've done more things than I could ever dream. Not just getting published or working on movie sets or having this successful dinosaur company, but I've even been in the room with more celebrities than I have ever thought I could in my life. And it is not all that, just so you know. That's a terrible goal. Don't make that your goal. Become a celebrity if you want to. But when I was out in Los Angeles, I even worked with an animatronic dinosaur on set, and I was really excited to tell everyone that I had one back home. And I was told fairly quickly that I was a farm girl from a farm town and I would never be successful with it. 3 years later, I bought out that very company, and all their dinosaurs are now sitting in my garage in Danville, Pennsylvania. So I get the last laugh. And I could really go on and on about the things that I've done, the things that I could do, how my boss is now 20 years older than me, but has to go to me for advice because I'm more experienced. I could really just go on and on about these things, but it's just to make my point. And although this is cliche to say and not very original, if I can do all of this, so can you. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. And I want you to realize this isn't someone decades older talking to you. I quite literally have been sitting where you are, back in that corner. And And, you know, if someone tells you you can't do something, don't listen. That's how I'm doing it. Someone told me I couldn't do something, I just sat back and said, watch me. And now I'm here. And you may not want to be a writer, but you can do whatever you want. You can go be whoever you want, you can become whoever you want. And if it does not through your head how similar we are, I'm going to tell you this now. I was born at Geisinger, just down the road. I grew up in Danville my whole life. My entire family still lives here. My mom and sister work at Geisinger. My dad worked at Merck. I went to St. Cyril's. I went to St. Joe's. I went to Danville High School. I played basketball on this very court. I did track and field. I went to football games, dances. My friends and I drove around town blaring music for fun, and then ended the night with a good old bonfire in a cornfield. Does this sound familiar, anyone? If it's not, maybe I'm a little older than I think, but I think the difference between us is that I think TikTok is a Kesha song, and you guys think it's a social app. That's really all that's the difference. But if I somehow failed miserably at making myself sound connected to you guys, I want you to look at the teacher's list in that paper that you have. I promise you, I just counted, I had over 50% of them. I have 2 younger cousins in this graduating class. Many of your class is younger siblings to people in my class, so I know many of you. I know many people sitting in those stands, and I want you to realize what I'm doing, yet how connected I still am to this town, and even more, to your graduating class. And I want to say it one final time. If I can do all this in such short years, think about what you can do. And now, since I know you want this all to be over and the crazy lady to stop talking, I'd like to leave you with a few lines of advice that I wish someone, again, would have told me, and you'll pick up on these as you go through the next few years. And some you may understand now, others you will understand later. And I know it should be 20, but 21 is your graduating year and my lucky number. And this one doesn't count, but I want you to know that your teachers lied to you. MLA is not what they use in college. Use APA now, learn it quickly. So remember who you were when you were simply you. Ooh, I'm gonna use yours now. You can't argue with a rock. Don't waste your breath. Blessings usually come in disguise. The night sky is brightest when all stars shine together. Don't dim someone else's light. Shine together. There's a reason horses wear blinders in a race. Run your own. Like movies and video games, if you find enemies in your life, you're usually moving in the right direction. A kick to the teeth will always motivate you more than a pat on the back. And if you're brave enough, believe in your dreams because no one else will do it for you. And if you're brave enough to follow those dreams, be willing to walk alone. Many by your side will not be with you at the end. Don't go chasing love, let it find you. And if you have to chase anything, chase happiness. Live your life to the fullest and remember that it's about the journey, not the destination. We are all the heroes of our own stories, and we all make a difference simply by being here. No one is going to clap for you. Win anyways. If you're the best one in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. Move on. Life is a gift. Make the most out of every second. Leave your comfort zone. It gets bigger. It's always darkest before the sun rises. Have a little faith, because whatever is meant to be will be. When it comes to what you do in this world, make sure it's what makes you happy, because really that's all that matters. And lastly, when all is stay up late, swap manly stories, and in the morning make some waffles. And on that note, get out there and show them what Danville is made of, because I'm here to tell you as an Ironman, you can do anything, and this chapter is ending, but yours has barely begun. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mackenzie. Our next speaker is our class of 2021 advisor, Mrs. Laurie Schwartz.
All right, everyone, for coming out to celebrate these superstars. It's been challenging these last couple years for all of them, but they have persevered. Okay, thanks delivered, check. Theme discussed, check. Oh, one last thing. In lieu of applause after all these rock stars' names are mentioned, snap. Save the grand applause till the end for all these accomplished young people. We'll get through the speech really quickly if we do that. So here goes. Smash Mouth sang repeatedly in their song featured in Shrek, "All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold." That's what I want to address tonight. And while I will not be able to mention all of them, because you all want to get out of here and celebrate with your all-stars, I wanted to single out a few. Individual records were broken again and again this year, from Jagger Dressler to Brandon Zimmerman showing up and showing out in track and field, KJ Riley crushing the competition on the football field, and Caleb Haas wading through the waves on the swim team. We have the all-stars. Grace Petrick qualified and participated at the state level for cross country and medaled at state track and field. Andrew Johnson is one of the top 10 wrestlers in the state. Annalise Yike and Angela Warner are our all-state musicians, Charlie Betts qualified for golf at the state level. Reed Schultz, Jacob Bickert, Joanna Essenwein, Mandy Hackenberg, and Kate Woodruff all earned their Keystone degrees in FFA, breaking another record for the most earned ever in our school's history. Emma Verarno, Kira Chillis, Noelle Stam, Paige Holcomb, Reed Coppola, Cora Charlton, and Olivia Out all submitted their portfolios from AP Art to Bloomsburg for review. Emma Verarno earned second place. Darsal Patel, Raj Agarwal, Jenna Angel, and Joy Zhang qualified and competed at the state levels in forensics. Grace Fitzgerald, Zoe Zola, and Joy Zhang all qualified and competed at states in FBLA, and Joy is heading to nationals. All of these young people prove that all that glitters is gold. Our teams racked up victories and titles too. The girls lacrosse team, led by seniors Riley Out, Olivia Out, Taylor Haas, Natalie Hampton, and Laura Hilker were district champions for the 6th time in our school's history. Our swim team dominated with seniors like Gabby Hackett, Rachel Deal, Sarah Bowen, Zoe Zola, Joy Zhang, Holden Dent, Nick Crone, and Caleb Haas, taking them to districts too. The football team tackled its way to the top as they went to the state semifinals, the furthest the school's team has ever gone in our history. Our boys basketball team advanced to the state quarterfinals, also the first time in our history, led by seniors Jagger Dressler, Aiden Wichter, KJ Riley, Charlie Betts, Brady Hill, and Dante Harward, who told me he would be in the NBA someday. All teams broke the mold. Leaders were born in this class too. Kaylee Fish led her soccer, bowling, and track and field team and balanced it all while maintaining phenomenal grades and a positive attitude. Jenna Angel led the soccer and track and field team and single-handedly organized and managed our baccalaureate ceremony this year. Special thanks from me to you for that one, Jenna. Kendall Thompson, one of my school daughters, was a leader in soccer and track and field, spreading her positive can-do attitude to all who encountered her. Cora Wydra, Olivia Rucker, and Zoe Zola were leaders shining their talents on the stage at Danville's drama performances for all 4 years of their high school careers. Cora Charlton developed a service project for NHS to adapt to the COVID restrictions for local nursing homes. She personally cut and folded all the materials by hand for them. Sal Lamarca, with the help of Jordan Deal, Maverick Hughes, and Camden Wilson, started a new nonprofit here in town called the Young Samaritans. Emma Verarno lobbied for and created a new chapter for the GSA here at the high school and served as the club's president for the last 2 years. Grace Fitzgerald and Sarah Bone were National Merit Commended Scholars, and Zoe Zola and Joy Zhang were finalists. Grace Fitzgerald and Sydney Fetter participated in building leaders for the Susquehanna Valley run by the Chamber of Commerce. Joy Zhang is a presidential scholar and candidate. Lindsay Kashner, Laura Kashner, Gabby Hackett, Brady Hill, Chloe Hoffman, Lauren Hawkins, Ben Balger, and Kendall Thompson were a driving force of positive movement to form SPM here at Danville, to let all know that it's okay to admit when you're struggling, and there is a place to go for support. The leaders of this class I'm sorry. Okay. Andrew Johnson, Ben Bulger, Kevin Dempsey, Matt Maffei, and Paige Holcomb, my personal godsend, who was instrumental in communicating to the class and parents and really kept this high school running while we were on virtual attendance, have led these individuals who sit here waiting patiently to turn their tassels and throw those caps. They exemplified class, leadership, and pure awesomeness. And finally, for the grand finale, our girls softball team, led by seniors, Cheyenne Starr, Kira Snyder, Maddie Harriman, Laura Kashner, Lindsay Kashner, Alyssa Tucker, another one of my babies, Morgan Wagner, and Jenna Miller, and Sydney Fetter have had the most remarkable season ever. They are heading to the district championship game, which they will win on Saturday. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Williamsport. And I expect every one of you to go to that girls softball team and celebrate their most amazing victory for these most amazing women for the first time in our history in 21 years. These individuals in this class have brought me endless joy over the last 4 years, and it has been the greatest honor to serve as their class advisor. For that, I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to help you along in this incredible journey. I present the class of 2021.
All right, before we present the diplomas, I have two more distinct recognitions here. It is my honor to present the class of 2021 Valedictorian. This student's hard work and determination can best be exemplified by her ability to be in the National Honor Society and maintain the overall highest average while also being a captain in both the cross-country and swim teams, as well as being an integral member of the Health Careers Club and the Key Club. When not in school, she can be seen at the Junior Volunteer Program at Geisinger Medical Center. This student is also the debate team captain and the secretary of the Danville chapter of the Future Business Leaders of America. She was also named a National Merit Scholarship finalist. Please join me in congratulating the valedictorian for the class of 2021, Joy Zhang. This year's salutatorian will be remembered by her hard work and dedication as a member of the National Honor Society, Future Business Leaders of America, track and field team, cross-country team, forensics team, drama team, and swimming team, as well as excelling in band and chorus. She is also active in dancing and playing the piano while finding time to be an altar server and giving lessons in swimming and working as a lifeguard and an assistant dance teacher. She was also a National Merit finalist this year. She is an active participant in all the aforementioned activities while maintaining her strong academic standing as this year's salutatorian. Please join me in congratulating Zoe Zola. Okay, now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Mr. Varholik.
At this time, will the graduates of 2021 please come forward? The first diploma recipients for the class of 2021 will be our class officers and the graduation ceremony speakers. Matthew D. Maffei. Kevin Dempsey. Benjamin Caleb Balger. Andrew Ryan Johnson. Paige Aaron Holcomb. Joy Zhang. Zoe Catherine Zola. Grace Elizabeth Keebler. Rook Raj Agrawal. Morgan R. Ike. Spencer Altman. Jenna Rose Angel. Brianna Morgan Appleman. Michael S. Augustine. Ralph Bruce Baker. Robert Lee Bockham. Robert Charles Betts. Lydia Bechet. Sarah Bowen. Joshua Paul Boyer. Jordan Brookhart. Kennedy Burkhart. Kyle Burns. Andrew Drost Bazzini. Gabriella Marie Capita. Joseph Case. Laura Elizabeth Kashner. Lindsay May Kashner. Teresa Salona. Cora Elizabeth Charlton. Kira Elizabeth Chillis. Aryan Chopra. Carter Anthony Comney. Reed Sebastian Capola. Holden Thomas Dent. Jared Tyler DeWalt. Emmeline Ann Deal. Jordan Kylie Deal. Rachel Eileen Deal. Jaden Davis Diven. Jagger Dressler. Malia D. Easton. Briannan Elise Eckerd. Gabriel Thomas Erdley. Joanna Nicole Essenwine. Sydney Marie Fetter. Miles M. Ferguson Avery. Kaylee E. Fish. Grace Beatrice Fitzgerald. Malachi Daniel Floyd. Dawson Fulmer. Andrew Michael Francis. Ryan E. Gallagher. Marcela Garcia Rodriguez. Ryan Gordner. Alexandra Paige Gresh. Taylor Lynn Hawes. Miranda Lee Hackenberg. Gabrielle Lorraine Hackett. Julian Hahn. Emily Marie Hall. Natalie Hampton. Madeline Elise Hand. Donovan Charles Hanks. Caitlin Hansel. Dante Michael Harward. Caleb S. Hawes. Madison Jade Harriman. Laura Genevieve Hilkirk. Brady Joseph Hill. Wyatt Adler Holdren. Chloe Hans. Landon Hopper. Douglas Hauser. Maverick David Hughes. Abigail Marie Irvine. Rosemary Jacks. Ryan Jensen. Sky Justice. Samuel Cap. Tasanju Carmo. Thomas John Kovachet. Nicholas Delgado Kroon. Ava R. Kroom. Nathan John Krashensky. Salvatore Lamarca. Eric Zachariah Labach. Connor David Letterman. Lila Lefchek. Austin M. Long. Riley Elizabeth Maloney. Gage Menino. Gavin Menino. Logan Connor Manofsky. Mia McVeigh. Van Curry Merchant. Daniel Metzer. Jenna Grace Miller. Ty Miller. Julia E. Minix. Kylie Mitchell. Madeline Ann Mucello. Blake Thomas Winfield Nail. Thomas James Napoli. Christopher J. Out. Olivia Jane Out. Riley Elizabeth Out. Jamie Pandolfo. Darsal Patel. Urvish Patel. Ian Walker Persing. Grace Elizabeth Petrick. Alexia Amiria Price. Annabelle Caitlin Rapp. Randy Reed. Jenna Reebsum. Antonia Marie Richardson. Caden Jeremiah Riley. Gracie McKenna Root. Olivia Catherine Rucker. Dakota Ryan Rummerfield. Grayson Salerno Oswald. Braden Oren Sarvis. Therese James Sewell. Logan James Schaefer. Corinne Roxanne Showers. Reed James Schultz. Tyler J. Simus. Owen George Smith. Kira Grace Snyder. Miranda Nicole Spots. John Wayne St. Clair Jr. Cole N. Stahlberger. Noel Stam. Cheyenne Maria Starr. Hannah J. Stetler. Carter Allen Stein. Hunter Stein. Lillian E. Swisher. Tiana T. Swisher. Etin Tabre. Nicole Ann V. Tan. Kendall Rose Thompson. Sierra Elise Tice. Aaliyah Marie Ann Tucci. Alyssa K. Tucker. Emma Ray Verano. Christina Vargo. Samantha Lee Villatoro. Kayla Wagner. Morgan Alyssa Wagner. Logan Conrad Walters. Angela Josephine Warner. Ethan Michael Weeder. Brandon Welliver. Aiden Wichter. Camden Lee Wilson. William Wildy Wilt IV. Ace Adam Wolf. Raina Nicole Wolf. Kate Allison Woodruff. Cora Elizabeth Wydra. Dylan Matthew Urick. Annalise Dina Yike. Brandon Michael Zimmerman. Kyle Kizis.
Members of the class of 2021, family and friends, please stand for the alma mater. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, in closing, please, Andrew Johnson, please come forward.
Somebody once told me that only shooting stars will break the mold. The education we received at Danville Area High School served as the foundation we will use to launch into our futures. As this evening's ceremony comes to an end, remember what Shrek said. While my stomach aches and my palms just got sweaty, must be a high school. Shrek might have had anxiety about high school, but even at its most uncomfortable moments, you made it. You did it. Think about all the things that have brought us this far: studying for the big test, preparing for the upcoming game, or practicing for the concert. You embrace the challenge. We are the class of 2021. We graduate in a time where our world is dealing with tremendous challenges. Take on these challenges and find a way to break the mold. As we venture on our own individual paths, preparing for college, the workforce, or the military, remember everything you learned at Danville High School and use it to guide you on your journey of life. Congratulations. As Arthur Ashe said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Thank you.
Okay, class of 2021 President, Matthew Maffei.
Parents and families, please remain in your seats until the graduates have left the gymnasium. Class of 2021, it is now time for us to move our tassels from right to left. Parents, grandparents, friends, loved one, it is now time to get your cameras ready. Class of 2021, on the count of 3, join me in tossing your caps. 1, 2, 3.
Robert.